Howdy everyone, this is Shocker from Generator World, and the purpose of this video is to teach everybody how to operate a generator safely at Burning Man. Okay, to begin with, this is our front panel. This is where we pretty much operate most of the machine. When we open it up, you'll have a series of gauges. You'll have your oil, water temp, battery, fuel, and then typically you'll have your speed. So to start the generator, the first thing you want to do is you go to your switch. This is for a multi-equip unit. You have auto and manual. It should be set in the center. So to start your machine, you'll put it into manual. The machine is typically started on low. So if you turn her up to high, it'll get to about 1800 RPMs where we need to be. Your breaker is located right here. Should be off position. You can turn your breaker on and you'll be up and running for your power. To turn off the machine, you do it exactly in reverse. So shut down your breaker, bring your switch down to low, let it idle for a minute, and go ahead and turn her off. One thing I can recommend at Burning Man is never trust your gauge. At the Playa, it tends to get in the fuel systems a lot, and the gauges sometimes don't read correctly. So it's always good to have a secondary backup way to check your fuel tank. We like to use a stick, dip it, and see exactly where we're at on the fuel. Going over here to the side. You've got your accessory volt panel. Typically, when you go in here, you'll have a couple Edison plugs, and you'll have some 50 amp California twists in there. You got your breakers up top. These only work when the unit is in single phase. So if you're running 3-phase at Burning Man, these are not going to be working for you. So you're going to need a distribution box, which we'll show you in another video. To connect your wires, your wires will come in this side. You typically feed the wires from underneath, and then they'll come up this way, and you feed them into your lugs. In this configuration, if we're running in 3-phase, we have our 3 hots, number hot 1, 2, and 3. You have your neutral and your ground. This is your voltage selector switch. Right now we have it set in 122/40 3-phase. That's the most common voltage that we run at Burning Man. Some camps do run large air conditioners and such, which they'll run in 3-phase 480 instead of 122/40. And some people may need to run in single phase if they're just running really, really low voltage. Never turn the switch while the generator is running. Bad things happen. Going over the engine with you, so you have an idea where the fuel filters are. Fuel filters are located typically down right here. On this particular unit, you would spin off the bottoms right there to change your fuel filters. And then after you get them done, you would prime the system by pushing the primer pump several times until it becomes firm. Coming on the other side of the unit, we have our air filter located in this housing, our battery right here, our dipstick, and our fuel fill on the bottom right here. To change your air filter, which is really common at Burning Man, you want to check it after a big dust storm. You'll pop these clips right here, pull it off, and then check your air filter. This air filter is extremely dirty. You can tell when you tap on it, you see some dust come out. This isn't as dusty as you'll see at Burning Man, but this will get pretty dusty. What we like to do is, if it's not too bad, for the first time, we'll blow it out with an air compressor, put it back in on our next windstorm, pull it back out, see how bad they are, see if we can get majority of the dust back out. If not, we typically have at least 3 to 5 filters on hand at any time to make sure that we can compensate if we have any kind of issues with bad weather. We have a pre-filter inside of here. These typically don't get changed while we're at Burning Man. If your air filter is doing its job, The pre-filter shouldn't see too much Playa or any Playa at all. So to reinstall them, put it right down the center, take your center filter, set it down the center, get it stuck in there. And if you look at your cover, it'll tell you which ones goes to the top. Set it back on there, and then reverse, just put your clips right back on. And you're good to go. So as you're splicing your wires, you'll want to cut back usually about a thumb length, maybe a little bit more than a thumb length to go into your bus bar. You'll take this cable and you'll feed it underneath. This is a multi-clip 25 kVA unit, so it uses a number 13 to tighten down on the bus bar. So now we have our three hots. We have our black, our red, and our blue connected. Our ground is connected, and our next will be our neutral, right here in the center. It's also designated right here on the board. Okay, so if your generator has tails, meaning your Cam-Loks are on a set of wires like this, your next point of connection is going to be typically to another set of Cam-Loks, which will be either 5-wire, which we call banded 5-wire like this, or if you're running a bigger generator, it will be 4-aught. But the concept's the same as far as connection. What you want to do is always connect your ground first, which is going to be your green. If you look at your Cam-Lok, a lot of times there's an arrow and a small nut up top, or actually stud up top. If you look inside, you'll see a flat spot. This is on the male end. On the female end, you also look for that screw style. And then if you look inside, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a nub up on top. So you basically mate the two together, and sometimes it's a little stiff, so you have to wiggle them a little bit. Just keep wiggling. And then give it a quarter turn, and it's locked. Now you've got a good secure connection. So that's your ground, so it's just always green. Your next wire you want to connect is your neutral, so your white. Same order, arrow, stud, wiggle, and turn, quarter turn lock. So that's your neutral. The next three are your hots. So any order when it comes to these, so it could be your red, your blue, or your black. I typically like to start in order, so I'll go with my black, which is typically my first. Same thing, match your arrow to the other arrow and stud, wiggle, quarter turn lock. Red is typically your center. Push together, wiggle, lock. And you got your blue. It's like this one's a good example. You'll have to give it a little bit extra. Keep twisting, keep moving back and forth, opposing your wrists, and then locks right there. So now you're connected to your wire. It's gonna take you to your distribution, your power distribution. This is for 3-phase. In the next video, we'll show you, or next part, we'll show you how to connect the other end of this Cam-Lok to the distribution box and what the distribution box does.